What up, what up, what up? This is Mike the philosopher, along with the special guest of Tamara. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Mike?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. So we in episode 2 of RTL of season, I believe this is 6.
Yep.
And yeah, so some things is starting to take shape and some things is coming out in the light now. I'm noticing things about both the men and the women. How about you?
Okay. I did too. I noticed my order changed a little bit because
Okay,
people
okay.
are showing me some different sides of themselves. Some people not. Some people are just winning me more.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and the women are they're interesting. So I can't wait till you talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and plus we got 2 new cast
Right.
members in the show this time. So we're going to
Mhm.
go over that as well. So I'm going to let you start it off. Ladies first. Tell me about these guys.
So, from last week, Laverne is my boo, right? And he won more points this week because he's got such a really cool personality. I mean, unless you're really a shy person, you can't not like him. And I thought him on his blind date was fantastic. And his thighs, oh my God, that just shot him. He was a 10 plus plus for me.
Yeah,
Now he's like,
I was gonna ask you what do you think about him, letting the chick fill on his butt first date.
that was more for me to see than for her to enjoy. So I
Right,
think it was very strategic on his part to kind of show off his assets and
hmm,
let her know that they got that in common. They work out a lot, and he complimented her on her body, so that was big.
right. Now,
So
yeah, I didn't know he was a military guy. But it
yeah, that
did.
was a new. I don't think it came out before. I think that was the
Yeah,
first Air
yeah,
Force.
and I remember what you said on the last one. You never know what you get with a military guy. So,
That's right. That's right. He
yes.
probably have to come all the way out for me to like let him go. But I would be interested. Air Force is a little bit different than Army
Okay.
and drill sergeant kind of thing, and so might not be that big of a deal. But I've just had some experiences. My Air Force experience was great, so
Oh,
that would
okay.
do. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. So Laverne is still number one. I even like the banter with him and Tommy when he's like, okay, now you talk and you let her talk. And then you
Hmm,
talk, because Laverne is a talker, right?
hmm.
He could probably entertain himself. And so and then at the end in the gentleman's lounge, she's like, man, she could be the one. He like, dude, slow down.
Right,
This is
right.
like day one, like date number one. Cool out, chill.
Cool
But
out.
I get what I like about him is he wants to find the person. You could tell he's excited about it. Um,
He is just enamored with Laverne, boy. Ooh, check you out.
you tell how I light up and I smile on
I
his face.
see. I see. I think you was on the show.
They should call me. They need to slide me in another blind date. I could be
Yeah,
there.
yeah, definitely. I guess all the other guys are pretty irrelevant at this point, but we can continue to go ahead and rank them. So go ahead.
Yeah, Clifton is still, my number two guy. He won more points from me too, as they were kind of wrapping up the recording or taping for that day. And he's like, hold on, I ain't get time with you, with Joy. And like, I
Right,
need you to
right.
sit down. I don't care if they done, I'm not done. And so I thought that was pretty cute. And again, I could tell he's like a man and not afraid to exert his position and let a woman know, hey, I'm feeling you and I want more time with you.
Yeah, I would say
And I'm glad you appreciated it.
yeah, I would say Cliff got a pretty female high IQ when it comes to understanding women and what they look for. A lot of them, when he, said, "Look, I want to spend more time with you," he said that to Joy. I've heard a lot of women say that's they like that. They like that type of stuff in men when they, are more assertive with spending time with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see how Cliff got some points with that. But yeah, he seemed to be pretty wise when it comes to the ladies and what they like. So yeah.
And I even thought he was cool when they went to play golf. And the new lady with the blue contacts,
Mm,
he was gracious with her, but he let Joy know later, hey, you see how she pushed back? I'll move back. Like he was cool
right,
with letting her know my connection is still with you.
right, right.
I that put him up to like 10. Like that's
Well,
all we.
well, he did have a moment with what's her name?
Ace.
Dakia.
The Kia. See, I like Dakia. She's opening up this week, and I knew she
Yeah,
would.
yeah. I was gonna talk about that. Yeah, yeah. But they had a day at the I think they had like a little lunch date or whatever, and you seen a different side of Cliff at that point. What did you think about him?
Him asking about premarital sex. I thought
Yeah,
that was.
yeah.
I mean, some women might think that that's a question you save for date number 2 or 3, maybe. But in this time and age where there are people who are holding out, I don't think it's an appropriate to ask, right? Because if you guys aren't aligned, that probably won't work out.
Yeah, that's something.
Anyway.
That's something to know. Yeah, I mean, you got to
Mm-hmm.
figure that these people probably, it's only 7 people starting out, so you really got to get to know somebody really quick before
Yeah.
people lock up, and then you got new people coming in. So, all BS aside, let's get to know each other and put our cards on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
I definitely see the men taking charge of that, which I really, really appreciate in this
right.
season. That they are asking those next level questions.
So you like the men much better in this season, huh?
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, I think they showed up. I think they're about looking for a partner. They're not about show business. If they are, they're doing a great. They should be actors because they're doing a great job of hiding it so far.
Right.
So yeah. So the new guy came on, Cornelius. He is now my number 3. Right? You can tell I got a type.
Wow. Yeah.
I got a type.
Teddy bear guys. Yeah.
Yes, that's my type. I will never lie about that.
Okay.
He's cute. He's fun. He's lighthearted. I mean, I love a man. I know, black men have a lot on their plates and they have a lot to be angry and edgy about, but for somebody to be lighthearted and seem fun, it's just, I would be attracted to that.
What did you think about him, really kind of focusing in on the sex? Like he seemed to be pretty, he like out of the gate, he was talking about that. And that seemed to be his number 1 priority so far.
That probably wouldn't hit my radar because I believe the pathway to my heart is through sex. For me, I'm really not open to you if we're not connected intimately. No, it's not a first date kind of thing. So it didn't offend me or bother me at all. But many women might, if they're like, oh, he just want one thing. The way I see it is you could want it, but if it happens between you and I want it. I want it from you like you want it from me. So it isn't like you're taking advantage.
But he had a big a problem with Tiffany because Tiffany said she want marriage like out the gate, you know what I mean? And he was like, "Whoa, I ain't really here for that." So I don't know.
Did you? I interpreted it as she had the problem. Okay. I didn't feel like he had the problem. I felt like just the negativity of it's a yes or no. Like even with that was somewhat combative. Right.
Right. But I was just kind of saying how did you think he handled that, or how did you think that that he came off with that?
Yeah, I think his answer was lukewarm. I think, especially you can call it what you want. That part's kind of funny because that means I could take it or leave marriage, right? And if you're a woman that wants marriage, you're probably just cutting yourself off and you don't want to talk to him. But I'll say this. One of my girlfriends was dating a guy that said he didn't want to be married again, and they are engaged. Things do change. People do change. And so to me, marriage is so down the road. I don't know if that would be a deal breaker for me, but probably because I've been married before and I flip flop between, do I want to do that again or would I be up for it? I just think if you've got all other things going for the person, that, I don't know, but that's me. And maybe if I had never been married, that probably would be non-negotiable for me.
Right. Okay. Just
yeah, but she turned me off. I didn't necessarily.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to her. Yeah.
Yes. You know who dropped on my list? Paul did. Because he is just awkward and he is not translating to the woman like he should.
I would say he has a low female IQ because he just, like you said, he's awkward and he got some ways about him that is just, I heard him referred to as being juvenile. You know, he's one of the oldest guys there and he act like one of the youngest guys, like he don't know nothing. Like, you know, what do you thought about that?
Yeah, I could say that I felt like his questions were weird. Just like if you were doing spoken word, what would your show be called? Okay, that is such an obscure question.
Right.
Especially when she said she's not even into spoken word. That question wasn't going to go anywhere. So I think he doesn't have good emotional IQ where he can read the room. Like this person's probably this question you could ask is not going to land very well. My prediction is he gets cut next because he is he's just not resonating with them as much as I'm rooting for him. He's just not.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be, and like, he does seem to have a low IQ when it comes to that. That seemed like a very standard question he'll ask a woman about the spoken word. Like, even though she said that she wasn't into it, he still kind of asked her like he do that all the time. I'm getting Corey vibes from him. You remember Corey from last season? I'm kind of getting Corey awkward, you know, and just don't know how to maneuver or move, you know. I mean, on paper, these guys might look pretty good, you know what I mean? But, you know, when it comes to practicality and in practice, they just fumble the ball all the time, it seemed like. So
yeah, he's definitely, I don't think he's been married. You can kind of see why. Just because his personality, I think it will take a special kind of woman with a special kind of personality to match with him.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, I think he will be good with a woman in her early 30s, 20s, because his mentality is not for a sophisticated woman who's been around the block. You know what I mean? It's more for the younger, you know, just a younger woman, you know, who's probably not used to that awkwardness, or probably a little bit more open to his type of personality. I think the same thing for Corey, you know. So yeah.
Oh, from last season.
Yeah, from last season. Yeah.
I think, do I have? Oh, Tori. Oh my God, Tori dropped from my list too a little bit.
Wow.
When he was at the golf thing, he was talking about sex in a pretty inappropriate way with Joy, right? He was alluding to his penis size and hitting her kidneys. And I was like, come on, man. You know,
so that was across the line. That was too much.
That was too much. That was almost. Yeah.
Now, is it because it was Joy he was talking to, or is it because, I mean, it could have been anybody?
Could have been anybody. I think, like, if I kind of put myself in that position, I probably would have laughed it off. And she did a great job. That's like, of course, it's important, right?
Right.
But like, do you have more to talk about? And I felt like that conversation was childish. To be alluding to, you know, what you could potentially bring in the bedroom without, I don't know, it it just was a little on the raunchy side, but I did coin him as the kind of the thug guy, right? Not that he's a thug, but maybe that's
what
indicative.
thug. Yeah, well, but see, here's the thing. You know, if I'm checking the list, PO or Paul, he's kind of leading with sex. Corey is kind of leading with it. Cornelius, the new guy.
Yeah.
The new guy is leading with it. Clifton is on his mind too.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of the guys is kind of leading with that. What do you think about that?
Man, you're gonna say more about me than about
I mean,
them.
even your boy Laverne is getting his butt felt on, so you know.
Oh, I know, but you know what? It's the way you do. It's the way you do it. Because
right.
Laverne, I like Laverne, that little role play he did, which was, okay, if I'm getting out of line, I'm talking too much, how would you let me know, to dial it back? And then as they did that thing, he says, "Oh, you'll give me something a little special later." Like, you could tell that meant sex, but it was a cute way, an inadvertent way, a classy way, a sexy way of bringing it up. Talking about hurting my kid there leaves nothing to the imagination, right? And so, to me, it's just that's my imagination can run with what Laverne said. But Laverne could do no wrong in my eyes.
Exactly.
But to me, that style resonates with me. Versus you coming all out talking about,
it's a difference between sexy banter and raunchy banter. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and so did I get through all of them? And then what's the last guy, the quiet dude that the lady said he had big dick energy? I was like, it must translate in person differently than it do on camera, because I'm not getting none of that from him.
Right.
And so he's still kind of, at the bottom of my list.
What's his name?
I gotta go back to last week. Let me see. What's his name? His name is Demetrius.
Oh yeah. The chocolate dude. Yeah.
Chocolate boring guy. That guy.
Oh wow. Okay.
Was he not boring on this episode? Did you remember him?
I don't be checking for the dudes, so I wasn't even paying attention. But from what I've seen, I kind of get where you're coming from with it. He do have to open up a little bit more, to the ladies, and because Clifton getting all the airtime, really. It seemed like Clifton is getting all the airtime out of all of the guys.
All the days.
Yeah.
He creating dates, right? He's creating conversations and interactions even when they went to golf, right? He had the interaction with the lady contacts, and then also with Ace, right? And with Joy. He's
all over the place. Yeah.
Understand the assignment.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say the guy, he do understand the assignment. He got the high IQ with the women. So, and just with dating in general, I mean, he know the rules. So, and plus he's, even though he got Joy where, they're comfortable, he notices ready to love. Anybody could be eliminated. So it's good to, make connections, as many connections as possible. He said, I'm not insecure. I know she not insecure. We good at where we are, and we can still, mingle and get to know other people. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So,
and okay. So let me get started with the ladies. That's all you have, right?
I think so. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but that's all I got.
I think you got them all. Let me start with Dakia, I believe her name is. She is coming out of her shell a little bit. I thought she was a little stiff in the first one, but man, she said something. She's what is it? Vaxxed and waxed. I said, okay. Check you out. You letting it be known. Okay. And plus with with Clifton, you know, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm all ready for it. I'm in my peak. I'm this, that, and the third. You know, I don't know what's up with these never mind. But yeah, he but
Engineer.
yeah, she's vaxxed and waxed and she's ready. She's in her prime. And I tell you, I'm starting to see another side of her. I'm wondering if um maybe it's a little, I don't want to say too much, but I guess you got to get to, you got to put yourself out there. You got to let people know what the deal is. You know, you got to, because like I said, I thought she was kind of stiff, but I guess I didn't expect her to come out this much, because it seemed like it's a different person this episode. I mean, did you see what I seen? A little
Okay.
bit.
To get on you about this one. So if the kid was a guy and
Well, let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not.
it's a little bit too much.
Well. Let me be clear. I'm not mad at the kid. I'm not. I'm not mad at her at all. And you know, she free spirit. It's just different than the first episode. That's all I'm saying. So it was a little bit of a change, like she put on another personality came out of her or something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be honest, I would still be checking for her. You know.
Oh, even if she hadn't answered the questions, like I'm trying to get my lighting right now. Even if she hadn't answered the questions that way, you'd still be checking for her?
Well, I mean, she answered the questions correctly. Let me just put it that way.
You're not mad at her. Her answers are great.
I'm not mad at her answers at all. And, you know, I think she's moving, you know, in this situation, how you got to move, you know, you gotta, you know, kind of be open to everything, and or not everything, but, you know, you at least got to be open-minded. And I see her being open-minded. I'd be curious to know what about her last relationships. I can't wait till the exes get on, because I want to see what her issue is. But so far so good with her. And she is, I guess, moving how you're supposed to move on this show. So yeah, and her looks and stuff didn't change. I probably bump her personality up a notch, you know, from the last episode, because I'm seeing more of her personality. So yeah. You know, Tiffany, now, you know, she got eliminated, you know.
Yep.
And you know, she was pushing that marriage. I get it, but I mean, this is you fresh out the gate, you're trying to get to know people. You know, if a man pressures a woman with intimacy, that could be a turn off. And if a woman pressures a man with marriage, that can be a turn off. They just got to know the rules with each other and not push these things out of the gate. They're sort of equal. You know, if like, and you said, like, with what's the name, Corey or whatever, with the dreads, and talking about moving kidneys and stuff. Now that could be inappropriate, and as uncomfortable as Joy was, or women will be with that question, a man will be just as uncomfortable with the, you know, trying to push the marriage and stuff. Like, I was really I thought Tiffany was pretty cool, actually. You know, she was saying some of the right things in her interview. She said she wanted to, you know, she said she wanted to be touched and like to touch. In her interview, she said, you know, he bring home the bacon, I'll cook it and stuff like that. I think she's ready to be a wife. Don't get me wrong. I just think that she started to get a little bit of attitude, and the guys was like, that's a turn. First of all, you push your marriage, and now you got this stank attitude. And then she was like, do I look pressed? Do I look worried about this? No, and all this other stuff. And that's like, come on, man. That's
I just think she's mean. If I had to coin it, like, just she's not. She got a bad attitude. I mean, and honestly, she looked like she got a bad attitude. Like, if you,
wow,
facial expressions, some of the terms that she uses. I mean, I thought some of the stuff she said when she got voted off, like, he jealous of me. Well, how's a man jealous of a woman? What are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
And so she showed her foul personality a lot at the end. And I know Paul is not liked by many of the women, but she's kind of brutal.
Yeah, right. And
So
I would say she had good intentions. She just got a bad attitude, and I'm not surprised at all why she's, yeah, she do. And I'm not surprised that she's single, because she really she needs to fix that attitude and her approach, because it's not appealing at all. So I didn't see much of Sabrina in this one. I don't know. You know, not much has changed with her, but I didn't see a whole lot of her. Or maybe it's
she's going to be interesting to me.
You said what?
Because I feel like to watch her is going to be interesting, because I think she's attractive. She's cutesy. And I wonder, how is that going to translate? Because you can get lost, right? And a lot of times when you're so cute, you don't have to work to get a man's attention. But the other women on the show, with some of the more attractive women, they've got the personality to go with the looks. And so you're gonna have to depend on more than just, I'm a cute little Sabrina. You're gonna have to stand out, and I would like to see her step up a bit, but maybe it just wasn't her episode.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's probably going to step up the next episode, like what the Kia did in this one. Sometimes, man, production really just don't be showing everything. And then,
they try to tell a story, right? It's all recorded, right? And as they start to edit and create the story of it,
some people get lost in the sauce sometimes.
That's
and
right.
It's just a part of the show. So I'm just trying to adjust to that part and get used to that. They probably just didn't have a strong storyline to tell for Sabrina, so they just didn't really cover her much. But I seen in a preview that she's gonna start turning up, so we'll see.
Yeah, I saw that too. On my boo, I think she's gonna be talking to my baby.
Yeah. Oh, you can do all this talking, you can't talk to me, something like that. But yeah. Precious. She's cool.
She was talking to, what's his name, Paul, and he was asking him some weird question he asked her.
Oh, you're talking to Precious?
I couldn't remember what her name was. That's Precious.
Yeah. She, I must say, probably has the best personality of all the ladies so far. I mean, this is very early. It's only episode 2, but I would probably say Precious has the best personality, because for the most part, she can relate to everybody. Everybody that's sane, and not asking them about spoken word, and she said she wasn't interested. But anyway, if you come at her correctly, I think she's easy to get along with. She's still cool. For me, I would see her more as a friend. Like, she would be somebody I would love to hang out with, but I wouldn't make her my woman or nothing, so but yeah. Joy is still pretty steady with it, and I like the fact that she's hanging on the cliff and they got that connection, and she's not jealous, she's still mingling and everything with everybody else. She is an attractive woman too. I would say she's still number 3. She's still number 3 for me. So it's still Dakia, Sabrina, and then Joy. She can have a good time and mini golf or whatever, and she's cool.
What do you think about Carmen, the new lady?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to her last. I'm I'm gonna go to Ace, and I'm gonna say I didn't see a whole lot of Ace, but she kind of played the background. I think your boy Cliff went to go check on her because she was kind of feeling left out a little bit. And
but she had the blind date with Cornelius though, so she had her own little segment for a minute.
Yeah, and you know, I'm still trying to figure Ace out. A part of me likes her. A part of me thinks that she's not going to last very long. I will probably even say she may be the next to go. If I had to pick somebody, even though Tiffany is gone, I will say Ace will probably be right behind her next episode because she don't seem to be able to make genuine connections. It seems like it's surface level. She seems a little introverted. She seems a little closed in, and you know, I could say that from the looks of it, she's not ready to love yet. She has to come out of her shell a little bit more, and she has to make some genuine connections. Because, like I said in the first episode, she seemed like it was her I seen her representative. I didn't really see the real her. You know,
you messed me up with that too, because at the end when Tori was talking to her about the guys have met, we've been talking, and she was looking like, yeah, and it was so fake.
I know it was like soap opera.
Every word.
It was just like,
Mike messed me up. I'm never gonna see her the same again.
I mean, you know, that's just how I see her, and you know, I'd like to see more out of her, but you know, because I'm rooting for her, but because, like I say, in her interviews, she's more comfortable. She's more herself. But when she seemed a little socially awkward to me too. You know what I mean? As far as the ladies go, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I no doubt I don't doubt she's a good woman. It's just it's gonna take a special guy to get her out of her shell. That's what I think. So. Okay, and we're going to Carmen now, the new chick. I would say she had a decent body, nice, you know. Well, I guess I don't want to go into too much detail.
Why?
You know, I don't want to be too crass here, but she had a decent body. This is gonna sound weird, but I do like her hair. Now she claimed her hair is real, and she had Clifton pulling her hair from the back. I don't know what that was about, but she was trying to do a little golf move. You seen that? And then she was like, "Hold my hair," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this chick, she's funny."
Her blue contacts.
Right? Yeah, blue contacts. I wasn't feeling that. The hair, I was feeling that. The body, the face is average. Her face kind of looks, I don't know, a little funny, but it's not ugly. She's not ugly. So let me go down to rankings. The kid's still at 7.5. Tiff is gone. Sabrina, she's still at 7.5. Precious, 6.5 for her. Joy still a 7. Ace, she's still at a 6. And Carmen, I gave a 6.5. She's not necessarily past Joy, but she's right under where Joy is. You know, and I'm trying to think her personality. I'm gonna still have to see a little bit more because I gotta see where her angle, see where she's coming from. I guess she's some kind of brand CEO or whatever. So that's cool. And she doesn't seem to be like, she gave the right answers to Laverne when he asked her about, you know, how well you address certain things. I think she did a pretty good job with, you know, hey babe, you know, lean over. And so I'm liking that part about her personality. So, and I like to pull the hair part too. So, you know, so that was
So,
cool. So she's a
so
little flirty. She's a little, you know, open. She's respectful, you know, so far, you know, to the men. So I could see her, you know, being pretty good to be in a relationship with. I'm just I think the shoe is going to drop on her too. You know, yeah,
to me, her personality is suspect. I don't think I like it. I
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah, yeah. That's
because
probably the thing. I didn't think she would resonate with women very much.
because some of the stuff she said at the golf thing, like, of course I can play golf, but of course I can't beat them because I don't hit the little man's ego. Like I was like, that right there, that's gonna come out. That there's no way she gonna be able to hide that attitude towards men. And
What did she say again?
she was saying that because they were like, hey, you know how to play golf, right? This before she got up to play with Clifton. And she, in her confessional, she was saying, of course I know how to play golf, but I can't beat them because their little ego is gonna get upset. And so I gotta, something she might have said about act like she can't play or something. And I was like, that's gonna show up because that's not.
You know, yeah. Well, you know what? I don't think I have a problem with that. I don't think I have a problem.
I don't think you're gonna have a problem. I think the way she said it, she got a problem with that.
What do you mean she got a problem?
She got a problem with having to dial her strength back. Even with her wearing the necklace that says powerful. To me, you know, a really powerful person, I ain't gotta wear the badge. I just walk into the room. I don't gotta show it like that. I don't need a big neon sign. So for me, I picked up on some of the subtleties of
ego.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there may be some men are like that, right? If I was a man, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't like women who have big egos like that. Maybe that's...
I don't want to say detest. That's too strong. I do not like women with egos either. And this is, I don't know how people will feel about this, but I think that egos are strictly for men. And the reason I think they're strictly for men, I know. See there, your ego is getting the best of you right over there.
I didn't roll my eyes. I didn't get up and say,
Okay,
you know, Mike, and take my earrings off.
Right. Well, let me explain it. Egos are useful for competition. Okay. If you like a Michael Jordan, of course you're going to have an ego because you're in constant competition. Men are in constant competition with each other. Okay. I don't see a usefulness for women to be in competition with anybody, not men or not even other women, unless they are competing for a specific man. That's the only time they should really be in competition. Other than that, competition is not really useful to a lot of women. Now, you can go ahead, tell me about myself, but all I'm saying is, naturally, competition and ego is for men. It's designed for men, and when women use ego, they look masculine to me. And when they have egos, they look masculine to me. And if a woman looks masculine, that's an automatic turn off. I'm not saying that they don't compete for anything. You know, sometimes you want to get that man. Sometimes you want to get that job. Sometimes you want to get that promotion. Sometimes you want to get that business. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. And I get that. But to wear ego on you as a personality, that's not useful for a lot of women, in my opinion. Now, I would even argue that is what Tiffany suffered from. That's why she is gone, because she had the attitude and ego. And she was like, well, do I look bothered by this? No, this, that, and the third. That's ego. You see what I'm saying? And that's why she's gone.
You are bothered by it.
What's that?
Well, I said she was bothered by it. So I heard you out. You know,
Okay.
It was off-putting at first, but it may be not so much about the ego part, not being for women or strictly for men. I think that's the part that made me laugh.
Right. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
When I see women act in ego, to me, it shows insecurity to me.
Okay.
And I think maybe even when men act out of their ego, it looks like insecurity to me as well. Unless Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, she got to have an ego when she's playing tennis. So I'm not going to say it's a male or female thing. But in social settings, maybe I'll say in relationships with someone you trying to woo, it'll come across to me as insecurity. Because if you showboating and throwing your money around and talking about all your accomplishments, that's a turnoff to me. Men or women, I don't want to be her friend and I don't want to date this guy. Or I'll say, what is it that he's picking up that makes him feel like he's got to lead with this? Right? Lead with all of the things that feed his ego. Because that's just not, now to me, where I want to see that swag, where I want to see that confidence and ego aren't the same thing to me. Where I want to see that confidence is the way you treat me and in the bedroom, right? Like that, it might be relevant there, but I just not, I don't, ego, and we all have egos. We all have them.
Right. And that's just part of human nature.
Right.
You know, everybody got an ego. And that ego kind of gets us in a lot of trouble. But what I meant by that is that, say, like even like since the beginning of time, really, men had to compete with other men, whether it was hunting, whether it's for women, whether it's for riches, whether it's for land, whether we are the natural competitors of the two. And you know, and that's why men love sports, because we're always competing with each other to test our own manhood and stuff. Ladies, for the most part, naturally, now we live in a different world, but naturally they wasn't the competitors, they were the nurturers. Okay. And this is just, I'm just going strictly by nature. They were the nurturers, so they didn't have to compete with anybody. They found satisfaction in being nurturers. Times have changed, okay? Because some women, especially Western women, don't find comfort in nurturing as much as they used to. Right now, a lot of women, and this is something that Kevin Samuel will say. He will say, "Put your D up." I know. He's, you know.
No, I can't stand that dude. Go ahead.
But he would say, "Put your D up," because a lot of times women give off the masculine energy because they have the ego. So that's why I say it's really designed mainly for men. It's not really for women. Women actually are sexier when they don't have an ego, in my opinion.
Well, I was gonna say something about women in competition. Women are always competing for a man, by the way. Women who are heterosexual, right? They're always competing for a man. But the way a woman competes is not with her ego. It's actually her being more soft and helpless.
I wish I could. You know what happened though?
If you could just open up the bottle for me, because I can't. That's what resonates with men. And that she can still be competitive without being competitive in the way a man is. So to me, women are competitive. They are always competing.
No, but you know what? But they're competing against each other, but they are forgetting about what the men want. I think women a lot of ways have lost what men want. Like if men be like, okay, well, we don't like a whole lot of weave, or we don't like a whole lot of, you know, all these different 5-inch nails, or these snuffleupagus eyelashes, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like if we keep telling them that and they still do it, and these colorful wigs, purple wigs, and you know, whatever the case may be, it's like, now you ain't doing it for men, you doing it for women. I seen on social media, and this is no lie, this chick had a wig on. The whole wig had lights in it, and the wig lit up like a Christmas tree. I said, who is that for? Is that for the men? I don't think so. It's almost it circumvent the men to the point where now it's about just strictly attention. You see what I'm saying? And when it gets to just getting attention, you forgetting what the men. So now the ego then turns into, I got this ego not for getting a man. I got this ego because I think I'm the stuff, and I get all the attention. So I'm on a bit of a soapbox with that, but
I see.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think your observations are valid. I think, especially Black women, we got it hard out here, because on one hand, I am in a position where I have to go and fend for myself, get my education, work hard. And so some of that, like, I feel like in my role at my job, I'm in the meetings. I'm always in meetings with men. I'm at the table with men. I'm the only woman at that table. So if I wanted to come in and be like, I just wanted to ask a question, and if you would think that I could, I'm getting nowhere, and they're gonna pat me on my head and overtalk me. So there's a part of that I've had to build up, right? The issue is taking it off when I want to go on a date with a guy, right?
Exactly.
Like, what I do for a living, because I don't even want them thinking that way of me. I want them to see me as a woman first, and then as time goes on, then you realize, okay, she's a director.
Right.
But other than that, I'm a woman who works her butt off, but she works hard. She loves hard. She plays hard, right? So I think it's hard for women to catch a break that way, and to turn some of that off. But I think the intention is to show you she's interested in you, so it might come across a little strong.
Right. But
because it's like 5 women for every man, right? So she gotta stand out some kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. She gotta, wear ornaments and, earring, all that.
Christmas.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, look, getting attention is not new. That's from ancient Egypt time. That's a long time ago. That's why we rock gold. You know what I mean? Because we like to be flashy. We like to be, have all the ornaments on and this, that, and the third. But you have a talent. I'm gonna call it a talent or skill that that needs to be that I wish let's say just more women would have, and that you have the ability to turn that off and get back into your feminine side. Like a lot of women, if they have certain positions or high positions, even if they just got the degree or the education, they hang their self-esteem on that, and they say, well, I am valuable because I have a degree in this and that and the third, and that generates an ego that is not very workable with men. So but you don't rock that way. You don't carry yourself that way. You know how to turn that off and be very feminine, and I just wish more women, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, especially our sisters, would do more of that, because a lot of times when they get a high paying job or position or education, they kind of beat their men up with that, as if to say that I'm better than you, and men ain't even really checking for a lot of that stuff. A lot of the time we're looking for somebody feminine and nurturing and can be a lady. That's what turns us on.
I think if I had to give advice, just to and it's a conscious, I don't think it's a conscious thing, but if you really, really know that you value a man and that you need a man and you want a man, you turning that off. And when you're around, because for me, I work in a predominantly white environment. When I'm around Black men, that energy just melts me. It turns me into the girl that's getting ready to flirt, because I know I want a man. I need a man. I desire a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if we tap into that vulnerability, which is true, even in the women touting their degrees and their jobs, but there's armor around it. And if you really, really want it, don't be afraid to expose that side, because there's a risk you're gonna get hurt. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But you tough. You'll survive. You'll get back up and you go try it again.
Right.
It's not gonna obliterate you. And so that, for me, it's not even an act. I like black men. I ride for brothers. I think they're the sexiest thing on the planet.
My sister. All right.
And I wish y'all was checking for us the way we check for you. That's a different soapbox. I'm not gonna get on it.
We checking for y'all. Hey, we not checking for y'all. That's a myth. Okay, that's a myth out there. I don't know how I got. Like, look, 80%, 85 to 80% of brothers are with sisters right now. Okay.
Well, they probably don't live in Colorado. How about that? Maybe it's because I've been in Colorado for 22 years. I need to move. I need to see something else. But
this ain't Chocolate City. Okay, so so yeah, maybe that's it. So,
yeah.
But
did we get through all the ladies? Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, and Carmen, she's new. I'm still trying to see what she's up to. Ace, gotta step it up. I hope she got an ace under her sleeve, because she might need it next week for real. And the rest of the ladies are, I think, in pretty good shape. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Am I missing one? Dakia.
Oh, because we let go of 2 women.
Joy.
Added one.
Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, only 6 ladies now. And next week they're gonna let go of a brother, and you think it's PO.
I do. I think so. I think it is him, because he's just not. No matter how tall he is, and I think he's handsome too. He's not winning.
Right. So
he screw up every time he opened his mouth. Whole thing.
Yeah. He got that. I don't know. He's still. I do see him being pretty young in the mind, and not very, have a high dating IQ like Clifton do. It's always somebody in the group that's like slow when it comes to dating. It's always somebody who's real good at it. You know what I mean? Every season. Yeah. So where would you put what's that one guy, the guy with the beard, Demetrius? I mean, do you think Paul is next, or do you think somebody else might be next? I think Paul is a good call, because I don't see any ladies really checking for him. But I don't know. I have a feeling it's not going to be him.
He could stay around, I think, because of his looks. I think
I think they're gonna get rid of Corey. That's what I think they're gonna get rid of. Or Wiley. No. I think it's gonna be Corey. Not Corey. What's his name? The dreadlock guy. What's his name?
Oh, that's Tori. Tori.
I think they're gonna get rid of Tori. I think Wiley got some points because his father is a musician or something like that. So the ladies are like,
go music or something.
Yeah, so they all of a sudden start warming up to him, and he was like, "Oh, you start feeling himself after that." It's like he name dropped his pops, and
He asked him. He wasn't like he just did it on purpose.
yeah. So I think maybe that'll save him another week though. But I think it's between those 2 brothers. I have a feeling, I don't know how, but I think this brother PO is going to stick around at least for another week, but we'll see.
I hope he does, because he was my top 3. But I just think he needs to meet a woman that's got a little bit more patience and probably a little better sense of humor. To be like, to poke at him and be like, so you just gonna interview me all day? Let me do it. Let me start. Like, let me turn it on around on you. Not in an antagonistic kind of way, but just a playful way, to maybe he'll be like, oh, that's not really resonating with you. I think I'm trying to get to know you, right? Because I think he's just missing. There's a style issue here.
Right.
Like he used the word tactical, which I liked. I'm like, yeah, you are tactical, and it's not working.
Right,
It does not work.
exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. If you had to pick one of the ladies, and I know it's not their week, but if you had to pick one of the ladies, who would you say?
Because Ace gives me Betty Boop, I would give her that. But I also do not like Carmen. I did not like her at Go. I didn't like her at Powerful on her neck.
You
I did not
didn't like her
at
because she touched the man's ass. That's why you don't like her.
and that's mine, right? And she didn't even appreciate it because I would have cupped it.
Wow.
And giving it a real loving touch.
Yeah, you would have waved
do
the
it
thing
right
with your
like
hands.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, she's that military lady too, so maybe she still has a little bit of that military mentality, you know. So I mean, Laverne seems to be pretty carefree, but Carmen seems like she's still a little militant minded a little bit. So
I think her dating him was good because he's so laid back and cool, and he gonna carry on the conversation if you don't want to talk or not, right? Like he drew her out, he drew her in, and so I feel like, and even I think she said something that could have been, that I could tell was a little bit edgy, which was, she's like, she works out 5 days a week. He's like, I work out 6 days a week. She's like, are we in competition?
right.
I wouldn't have taken it kind of way if I were her, but to me that was an indication of no, but you in competition though. So
yeah. One thing I'd like to see more out of her is some more facial expressions. I can't read this.
Does she look crazy?
Yeah, she just have the still face, and you don't
just
really.
See her face?
Huh? Oh wow!
You see her face?
I seen it. It's not ugly, but it could be hard to read. Like what do you think? What's on your mind? Like you got this still militant face all the time, and it's like that's hard to warm up to. You know what I mean? Men like women who are expressive, you know, have, you know, emotions that, as long as they don't get out of control and can show their emotions. You know what I mean? But a woman who's just still face and you know, it just seems a little robotic to me. But we'll see. Maybe she'll warm up a little bit, and we'll see more in the next episode.
Well, she needs to not warm up to Laverne. I don't, you know, but I'm gonna tell her that's not your man. He's not a good match for you. He needs a nicer lady. I'm trying
to think who would Laverne match up with nicely. I don't know. I could see him and Sabrina rocking.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking her. Yeah. They're gonna have a little something, so we'll figure that out. But I would think, because he's not a domineering personality, but he's a big personality.
He's a big personality. She's okay, but she's, you know, I think they would match up. I think he's a little shorter. She's a little petite. So I think, you know, aesthetically they would match up pretty good. I would say, you know, Clifton and Joy, that's pretty much a lock. To Kia, I would probably say her and Chocolate Dude. What's his name?
Oh, Demetrius.
Yeah, Demetrius.
You know, Takia is my favorite of the women, and it's really odd reasons. One of them is because she's an engineer. 2, because I knew she was gonna open up, because she probably was collecting data that day. Like, okay, how are people moving? How I gotta show up. Sorry, you can't turn that part off sometimes. But I also think she's a lot of fun. And so I would want to see her on a real date with Clifton. Part of me thought maybe Paul would have worked out with her because of the maturity level. She's mature, and maybe she would have helped him, like, dude, come on, man, you stop, cut it off, like, take a drink, relax, right? You know, this is not a technical thing. Like, we're not problem solving, and maybe they might have been a good match.
It might be. She seems she's one of the women who's driven by, you know, the sex too. So
that too.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the route she's going, and you know, but I don't know about Paul. I think he might end up falling for her though, but we'll have to wait and see. I think he'll live another day though, so we'll at least another week, so we'll see. But really, those are the only matches I can see right now is Joy, Cliff, Laverne, Sabrina, and Dakia, and I would say Dimitri or whatever. I think
Okay.
I think the rest.
And you know what? She's got a big enough personality to bring him out because he is.
He needs a woman like that to bring him out and to kind of you know, get that side out of him, because he is a little closed in, so he's going to need a woman to bring that out. And I thought that she was like that, but she's actually coming out of her shell, so I think she could probably show him the way out of that shell too, so we'll see. Yeah, so.
Good. That'll be good. Not that I won't look at him for the rest of the show. But this Cornelius guy, who I think is cute, I don't think he had a good first go. I mean, he was nice with Ace, but Ace is probably on her way out. And I don't think any of the other women got a good feel for him. So hopefully next episode he will expand his dating connection.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what if I don't know, because Laverne was feeling Carmen. So what you think that's gonna be a match?
I need him. No, that's not gonna work out. I need him to not do that. I feel like they'll argue a lot. I think they're gonna butt heads.
You just don't like this chick for nothing, right? And especially since she got your man. She got
right.
Him, so,
she cupped his booty right, nothing. She just is a waste.
So many reasons not to like this chick, but you.
I'm in competition for a man. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, that's healthy. That's what's up. You know, so I don't mind that. But but thanks for joining us on this one. I know we ran a little long, but it's all good. We had a lot to express. You have any last words you want to say?
I'm still looking forward to this season. I'm enjoying it. I feel like people are really open, and there are some real people seem like they're ready to love. So I can't wait till the next episode.
Yeah, it does seem a little more genuine than last season. Hopefully ain't gonna be no, light girl squad popping up, or you know what I mean, light skin squad, or whatever, or teddy bear squad. Maybe the brothers want to get together. I don't know, but they do seem a little more genuine with I can't even really say that, because a lot of them is leading with sex, so it seemed like it's ready to hook up instead of ready to love for right now.
I really don't have a problem with that. For some people, hook up and love is one and the same, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in order to love, some say you have to hook up to get to that place, but we'll see what happens. But so thanks for joining us. Sister BMR covered it. Now it's official, and we will catch y'all on the next one. Peace
Out. Bye.